Hello, I am Sophie Von Ahn. I make writing videos here on YouTube, and today I am very excited to bring to you my 5 tips for world building. I love world building. Sometimes I put a little too much time into it, and I thought I'd share some lessons I've learned over my world building journey, so maybe you guys don't make the same mistakes as I do. So, first tip, focus on what is relevant to your story. This one might seem obvious. It's what's going in your story, that's what you need to know. But sometimes it is very easy to lose track of what you need to know and just branch off into the most irrelevant knowledge that you could possibly need. And this is one that is especially important for when you are first starting your story, because it, one, cuts down on the time that you actually take world building before you can start writing, and again, it makes sure you don't wander off before you can even get to actually writing the story and you get stuck in the world. You can make sure that the story actually gets written at some point. And this may be difficult at the beginning of a story, like when you just have like a basic plot or a premise for what you want to write, because you don't really know what you're going to need per se. But I have found that working on the idea for the story at the same time as the world building for the story makes both processes go by way faster, because you're like kind of ping-ponging ideas off of both sides, and it makes for a much more cohesive story, I feel. So if you are at the beginning of your story process and you don't have like anything for it, understanding the plot as you're developing the world building, it's a great mix. Now, tip number 2 kind of goes with the first one, but do not overdo it. It is so easy to get lost in the world of your story, and not in a good way. Sometimes it's nice. Usually it's nice, but sometimes you get a little too lost, and things do not go good. Expanding the world of your story it's fun and it's great, but if you go too far outside the bounds of what is relevant to the story you're writing, can prevent you from actually getting the story out and written. It's like at a certain point, you kind of reach a threshold where you're no longer just world building for the story, you're world building to world build, to keep going, to keep expanding. So, exhibit restraint. Try to stay streamlined on what you know you need for your story. Of course, wandering happens, but try not to let it get too far. Alright, and my third tip is to pull from real-life examples. Many, if not all, great writers pull from real life to influence the fictional aspects of their stories. I mean, life, the life around us is pretty realistic, so being able to pull little aspects from different things and kind of mix them together to make your own thing can make your world feel all the more real, because you're not breaking the laws of physics or something. Tip number 4 is to visualize it. Visualize some aspect of your world building. I don't know, like a species, a building, your characters. Now, this is probably my favorite part. I love drawing the things I come up with, but if you are not visually creative or don't want to create your own like model or like reference sketch, there are other ways to visualize your world building. Reference photos are great, and I mean, you can splice together some reference photos to make them more accurate, or edit them in some photo editing software to make them more realistic to your world. Or another one that you have to be careful with is using other creators' drawings as a sort of starting point for your own world building. Now, while these are great for personal use, you should never ever claim another creator's work as your own or copy anyone else's work. Do not. But if you're just using these for yourself, you're not showing anyone, you're not taking credit for it, and you're just referencing them for your writing, all is good. Just if you are sharing your references with other people, make sure to credit the original creators of whatever you use. And finally, the last tip I have, number 5, have fun. Don't take it too seriously. This is your story. This should be fun. It should be exciting. And you shouldn't stress yourself out trying to understand the ins and outs of this fictional world that you're literally creating from your mind. So, I don't know, make silly little animals. Add inside jokes into your world's history. Make a world that your characters will both love and hate to live in. Because That's the beauty of it, you know? You can do whatever you want. Anyways, those are my 5 tips for world building. If you have any other tips, leave them down below. We can all learn from each other. I love world building. It's probably my favorite part of the writing process. It's so much fun, and I hope you guys have fun with it too. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to NaNoWriMo for letting me do this. And happy camp, everyone. I'll see you guys later. Peace.